What's good, comic fam? We're in San Diego for one reason. San Diego Comic-Con. Let's get into it. All right, I'm sitting here with the guru. How's your trip going so far?
It's been a great trip. Great trip. I love the town. I love this con. Lots to buy, lots to see, lots of selling. It's an awesome convention with some really cool exclusives this show.
That's right. And you know this list is going to be filled with it. So quick shout out to CBSI comicbookinvest.com, still delivering the hot list every single week, con or not. And thank you to Jeff for being here. And Russ, shout out my homie who's typically doing this list with me. He's taking the night off. But before we jump into this list, I got to give a big mention to his YouTube channel at Mill Geek Comics. I'm going to put his link in the bio. Let's surprise him with a bunch of new subs. Give that support to my local comic shop, to your local comic shop. There's going to be dogs in the background. We're not stopping. Let's jump into this list at number 10.
Yeah, this book is by Image, titled Excellence, and it's about a young magician following the footsteps of his father and a tradition into this group or community called Aegis. They're like a secret society, and their goal is to help the most deserving with their magic. Not the ones who need it the most, but the most deserving, which is really, if you think about it, can really put you in a situation of like, wow, this person is suffering the most, but is he really deserving?
This is exciting. Excellence number 1 making the list here. We're actually seeing not very high spikes for this book. It's like between $5 and approaching $10, but just because that number isn't really high doesn't mean it's not hot, because they are selling out on eBay quick. Keep an eye out. There's a bunch of variants, but they're all super affordable. Amazon has announced that they are optioning this as a show or possibly TV show. It's a little early to tell. I'm kind of hoping this is an animated thing.
Yeah, they made an animated clip for the comic, I think, to help promote it, and that looked sick.
I just wanted them to keep doing that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That looked really good.
All right, coming in on the list at number 9, we got another book here that I'm super stoked about. All right, so when I say Silver Surfer, what are some of the artists that come to mind as just like the most profound artists for that character? I think of like Mike Allred, for example.
Yeah, I think Jack Kirby.
Absolutely. And I think we have somebody new here to add to that list. Trad Moore. We're talking about Silver Surfer Black. You know, we got Sir Kate's making the list. This variant is definitely going under the radar a little bit because of the convention this weekend. We got more variants to discuss, but this book has seen some major spikes just days after release.
Yeah, we're at $40 already with this book. Okay, this Marcos Martin cover, which is a really bold cover. It's like, it's Silver Surfer basically fractured. You know, he's literally fighting through the oblivion of a black hole, and this really shows through this image. And it's a really cool book, and like I just mentioned, they're having some really strong numbers for just coming out of the gates a few days ago.
It's a 1 in 25, and I'm definitely keeping an eye out on all the variants from this run. You know, Donnie Cates is putting together this story, this narrative to line up for what's coming next, and we know we have a whole Carnage plan early next month that's going to be starting. So I'm excited to be keeping an eye on it. And I can't stress enough, this comic's a wild ride. Every page, you just have so much to look at. It's almost a little dizzying and difficult to follow because its style is so unique.
We are at number 8. And number 8 is Wonder Woman number 7.
George Perez goodness, man.
Yeah, George Perez does this cover. And it's actually the first appearance of the new Cheetah to be in the Wonder Woman film, the villain that we're expecting to all see, one of her oldest rivals.
You know it's going to happen.
Dr. Barbara and Minerva.
And what's really cool about this book is that I think this is one of those moments where, because people are speculating on a character and the Golden Age appearance is so expensive, this is the direction comic book collectors are starting to go.
And there's still also the first Silver Age appearance. So Wonder Woman 160 has also seen some gains. But this book, Raw, has been selling in high grade for $40. But 9/8 are getting up to $300.
It's definitely more obtainable, which is super important because that is part of the speculator game. It's not just about the most expensive book. It's about the book that the most amount of people are going to want to buy. Back at the list at number 7, we have a repeat offender. We have Captain Atom, issue number 42, the first appearance of Death in DCU continuity. Now, we looked up this comic book immediately after learning about it. I wanted to see what CGC put on the label. Guess what they don't put on the label?
First appearance of Death?
That's right. Nothing even tying it to the Sandman universe in any way, shape, or form. I love this cover. This is low-key, a dollar bin book still out there. You know people are going to be finding it at San Diego Comic-Con. And it reminds me of something else, and you pointed it out last night. And I was like, can't believe I didn't bring it up last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's very reminiscent of Secret Wars cover number 4. You have Hulk holding up this entire mountainside. And then also, if you think about it, Incredible Hulk Annual 1.
Absolutely.
Right? You have just that classic Hulk holding up his entire like title.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a really cool cover because in this one, you feel the weight of him holding up like his tombstone almost, because he's got the looming death coming and he's just trying to fight that, which is just a really cool image.
Captain Atom has to go through purgatory and he meets different renditions of death in this book. Now we're seeing some gains. We were reporting last week that this book was just hitting $10.
And now we're actually up to $30 on some of these sales.
$30 happened quick. And I think that this is a number that's going to keep on going up. Death is clearly the fan favorite of this run. If they do her half right in the show, we're going to see multiple appearances of her start to spike. I think this is just the beginning. And I also got to throw this out there. You got books like this that are not actual keys, but they're becoming keys because collectors are recognizing them in that way. It makes me think of The Question, issue number 17. This is the first appearance of Rorschach from Watchmen in the DCU. And this was a book that was a dollar bin book. Dealers out in conventions for the last decade would put these in their bins and let them go for super cheap. And now that book, after dealers and the consumers have driven that price up, it's now key status, but still no CGC label.
All right, straight to number 6 is a really, really exciting character new to comics. Okay, we have the first appearance, or at least cover appearance now, of Jenica.
That's right.
And this shot its way out of the con and into people's collections. It is sold out like instantly in the very first day. And we are seeing sales of this book at $250 for a variant and Jenica donning this cover.
That's right. It's super exciting. This is the panel from issue 95, but just done on the cover with more focus on Jenica for good reason. And the one thing that I'm kicking myself for is that we knew before, a week ago, IDW said, hey, we were bringing this book to the convention. We sold out already. We're not bringing any. We don't want to cause a mass hysteria and a ruckus at the convention. We're not bringing them. So I'm walking the con floor. It's Wednesday. Me and Nick from Key Collector, shout out, are just chatting it up. And we stop by the IDW booth and I'm like, you know what? I just want to see. Did you guys bring any of these? And they looked at me and they said, yeah, we actually did. We brought a handful of them and they sold out within the first 20 minutes. And we're not bringing any more. So look out at San Diego Comic-Con at the IDW booth because they are bringing cover A's and they're going to be selling for cover price, but they are going to be sold on eBay for a lot more. Good luck finding the San Diego Comic-Con variant. It's hot and I want it myself.
All right, we are at this point.
Halfway.
Yeah, we're at this section now where you're going to listen and hear the most relevant SDCC variants.
That's true.
We have for you.
That's right. These are the most relevant comic books from the convention. So hit that like button before we proceed. We need the comic fam support. We blew past 1.4 thousand likes last week. That right there is the comic fam. Thank you so much for supporting us. Hit that like button if you find any value to this video. And we have another repeat offender at number 5.
We have Black Cat number 1, Le Chinois variant.
It's a gorgeous book. People are buying it out. It's doubled in price. I was reporting a little over a week ago, so it's hitting $100. It's hitting $200 now.
We have $200, and the interesting thing is the signed and unsigned are almost the same value.
Still, I was predicting that the signed copies would be seeing a huge difference, that would spike, but it hasn't yet. People don't care, partially because it's J. Scott Campbell and it's a gorgeous cover. Now, the one thing I want to throw out there, what are you going to do if you want to get this graded?
Yeah, if you want to get a book graded and it's not going to be witnessed, CGC will not verify that signature, which I completely understand.
Right.
But there is a second group of third-party graders that can, and that's CBCS. They will put it in a holder. They'll give it the blue label that they have, and in the notes, it will say verified sig of J. Scott Campbell.
Interestingly enough, we haven't seen any of these hit the market just yet, probably because they are already being graded as we speak. But I'm interested to see a blue labeled slab with a verified signature, because I think when that hits the market, we're going to see the true potential of this variant.
Coming at Quattro is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 8, SDCC variant.
That's right. We got Scotty Young making the list. How much is this book going for?
Like Scotty Young's cutesy wootsy style, all right, this variant is selling for $45 to $50, double what it could be purchased for right now.
That's right. And what's really cool about Scotty Young comic books is that because it's his style, it's not always the reason why the book spikes. It's because it's a combination that it's him and the particular book. I think of Scotty Young variants and the ones that are actually like the highest selling ones. It's not all because of his style. It's because of the cover. And I'm thinking of like Deadpool Run the Jewels issue number 45. What do you have on the cover? You don't even have a character. You got Thanos' gauntlet and you got Deadpool together.
Yeah, and then we had What If Venom Possessed Deadpool. Great cover, instant hit. This was early on when they started doing the venomization of these characters.
That's right. And this book is going for staggering amounts because it's a cool cover, but because it's the first appearance of a venomized Deadpool. So there's more reasons than just it being him. And when we compare that to the last book on the list, totally different story. Because if it's a J. Scott Campbell variant, it's going up because of J. Scott. Interesting stuff. We want to hear from the comic book community. I really want to make a Scotty Young specific video. And if you want to see maybe a top 10 or something special, let us know in the comment section and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, we'll call our cheek pinching cutie video.
Cheek pinching cutie video. All right, let's do it. Number 3, brother.
So number 3 is my favorite on this list, at least visually. I haven't read all the stories, whatever. But I saw this in hand last night, okay, at an event. We went to this comic book legal defense fund event. That's right. And a big fan came up and he showed us this book. And I gotta tell you, it is so cool because it's like a visually stylized and a really graphics designs, like you have blank space of green and white bands, and then you have Rogue as the image. And like when you study it, it's beautiful. It's freaking beautiful.
We got Uncanny X-Men issue number 21, the JTC San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, Rogue looking gorgeous on this cover. This is my favorite exclusive of the con that I've seen so far. Everybody's picking it up and it's limited to 3,000. And it says it in the bottom right-hand corner of the book. That's only gonna help with the price hike of this. People are buying it out quick and it's going for staggering amounts. And I gotta also throw this out there. All the prices on these exclusives right now are still going up. By the time we get this edited and you're watching it, these prices may be a little bit different. So be mindful of that, but this is a hot book and that negative space will make Mike Mignola proud.
And you're giving that warning for a really good reason because number 2 on this list,
for real,
yeah, is Spawn $2.99. Now we know we're culminating to issue 300, which is a big deal. So this book's already going to be hot. But this San Diego Comic-Con variant of this book,
it's fire, dude.
It's fire. It was $50 yesterday to purchase potentially.
CBSI, when they sent us the list, because we get it a little early, so hit the subscribe button because we do this video every single Friday. They put on the list that this is going for $50. We did the script last night. What was that book going for?
So when we finally hit that pillow and we checked actual online numbers, it had shot up to $150.
That's right. Separate beds, by the way. And when we woke up this morning, Jeff's showing me his phone, and this book's hitting $300 right now.
$300. And it's a cool book.
Hours. Happen quick.
Yeah, and McFarlane is signing these.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get it with the white pen...
Good point.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Right along the dark bottom of it. Oh, it's beautiful. Now, this is also very familiar image to me. And it's like a vampiric kind of feel because there's this classic vampire movie that a lot of people are going to get. It's Nosferatu. Okay, it came out in 1929. This is a silent black and white film, and it's just got this feeling of eerie to it.
That's right.
It's a fantastic cover.
By Francisco Mattina.
And check this out. That's a huge number for this book. But we haven't even talked about number 1 yet. That's just number 2.
That's right. And we have the previews lunch today. And we are being told that there's going to be another Spawn book that's going to be given out to the retailer. So this may not even be the hottest Spawn book coming out 2019. What is going on? Spawn is making the list. People are buying it out. But we can't talk about that for too long because we got to get to number 1 on this list.
This is what we've been waiting for. We're counting down and to number 1.
Number 1.
Captain Marvel, number 8.
That's right. People went ham, bought this out. And Russ mentioned it in his weekly Sensei pick video that he thought this was going to be hot.
Yeah, out the gates, it was $25 this book. But the 1 in 25 variant is selling for $100 already.
It's a new character.
It's a new character that they're implemented into this book.
I really dig it. We're looking at Star, who is essentially Captain Marvel, just a little different. And that's what this story is about. It's about a Captain Marvel who is kind of down on herself, not feeling up to the task of being this superior hero that everyone looks at her to be. And she's seeing this new hero come in, kick ass, and kind of almost take her place in a way. And it's kind of scaring her. At least that's the vibe we're getting that this story is telling. I'm excited to keep reading this. Captain Marvel hasn't really made the list much since like prior, just right before the movie. And then a lot of those variants kind of just like petered off. A lot of those keys didn't really hold their value as much. I'm a fan of Gus or Chewie, whichever name you prefer. And I'm a fan of Captain Marvel. And you know, we're going to be keeping an eye on this book because it's aggressively selling.
Yeah, I mean, this hits on the emotions that we all felt. There's times we're all going to feel insecure. And I feel like this book just shows that with her insecurity at some point in her life and someone coming in to replace you almost.
Yeah, it's relatable.
So it's really relatable.
Absolutely. I'm digging it. All right, comic fam, I want to give a big shout out to all the different members of the community who are coming out and saying hi to us at San Diego Comic-Con, giving us so much love. You know who you are. We really do appreciate you. Every time someone walks up and says, hey, I like your videos, I watch them all the time, it's helped gotten me into comic books, etc. It's like, it gives me that much more reason to come back here, to stay up late and to make videos with my homies, you know? And I really do appreciate the community, so thank you. All right, and big shout out to Spider-Man, who won last week's giveaway. We're going to be sending you a copy of Walking Dead 193, the final issue, courtesy of the Sensei. And you won by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. We'd like to hear from the community. Let us know what you think about this list. Are you at the convention? Are you going to try to go next year? If you're not, we want to hear from you. Let us know in the comment section, and we'll enter you to win what?
2 things coming your way, okay? We have the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund,
Yes.
comic size pamphlet,
That's
as
right.
well as a con exclusive Black Cat #1 with a sketch cover on top. Yet, if you don't like that, there's always the beauty of the interior cover.
J. Scott Campbell. You know what? People love it. I do appreciate CBSI comicbookinvest.com for staying up super late, getting us this list, following all of these prices, and taking on that workload. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Ben. And as always,
Eat responsibly.
enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video, comic fam. Link is in the bio to join the Mystery Mail Call, the comic book subscription service where we send you comic books every month and you help support the show. So that's pretty cool too. I'm at San Diego Comic-Con chilling with Batman Ninja. If you want to come say hi, we are at the Silver Age comic booth. Oh, it's awesome stuff. Thanks for your support, comic fam. You give me the best job ever.